G'day guys, this is Tyr, and welcome back to another Fallout 76 guide. In this video, we will be covering in depth the legendary melee perk card known as Hack and Slash. But before we get into that, first off, I just need to mention, holy fuck, we hit 10,000 subscribers! Thank you all so much for the constant support, it truly means the world. I'm so grateful for the path I am being sent on with this YouTube stuff. It's truly awesome to think that 10,000 of you actually hit that button and want to see my videos. So yeah, I guess I just want to say thank you. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get into the video. Alright, so not many people know this, but Hack and Slash is actually one of the better legendary perks that got introduced. And I'm going to explain why. In fact, I think it's one of the best ones that got added, period. At least for melee builds, that is. Obviously, if you're using this and you're not a melee build, then that would be a little bit redundant to say the least. But anyways, I'm sure you all will be seeing clips in the background of me using this perk. It's explosions galore. Bloody goddamn explosions left, right, and fucking center. And I know what you might be thinking, no, those explosions aren't from the Exploding Palm legendary perk. I have actually taken that off for this portion of the video for the purposes of making this guide. So let's get into it. The perk is described towards the player to allow us to deal area damage whilst using VATS attacks. What it doesn't tell you is it doesn't exactly preface that this will be dealt via an explosion. I don't know, that's just something weird that I thought I might point out. I wish it was dealt via a unique long sweep melee attack animation or maybe a spinny circle kick. I don't know, it's just another explosive perk which I thought was kind of a lame gimmick. Like I said, I would rather it be dealt via a cool sweep animation or something, but anyways. As you can see here on screen, while at max rank it actually gives you a 50% chance to grant this area of effect attack whilst we are using a melee weapon in VATS. And I don't know about you guys, but this is amazing for me. I find myself very often using VATS for my melee attacks just because it guarantees a hit, and a leap across thin air towards my target. It's amazing. Also, I thought this is worth mentioning that this perk does work with all forms of melee weapons, be that unarmed, one-handed or two-handed, so it's definitely an all-rounder and the best pick for a melee character, no matter what type of weapon you use. But let's actually get into the reason why you guys clicked on this video. What does it actually do in terms of damage, and what does this mean for you? To put it simply, the area of effect damage that the perk card is referring to is not governed by a single constant number anywhere in the files of the game. The damage it actually gives is altered by your weapon of choice. This means that, let's say for example, a machete that you're using is doing 50 damage in the Pip-Boy. Then you use VATS on a target that is surrounded by other targets, and the Hack and Slash perk takes effect. Then you will deal 50 area damage all around you, not only to the target you are using VATS on, but also to any enemies in the immediate vicinity. Now this is actually really good for a number of reasons. The most obvious being, if you have a really good melee build and you deal a lot of damage with a specific melee weapon, let's say for example you're able to pump out 600 damage per swing with your bloodied pair of fist like I can, then you're dealing that same 600 damage in that area of effect explosion towards all nearby enemies. This leads to a slew of bonuses, the most notable being the fact that you could potentially get upwards of 5 kills with a single punch or strike if your damage is high enough. Obviously this depends on how many enemies are grouped up and if your in Pip-Boy damage for your weapon of choice is sitting around 600 plus. Because on average, towards regular enemies like super mutants and ghouls and yada yada yada, this would be the damage number needed to guarantee a one-hit kill. So just to make it crystal clear, the explosion that erupts from this perk taking effect is dictated by the Pip-Boy damage of your currently equipped melee or unarmed weapon. I hope that makes sense for you guys and gals. But this also means that we can synergize this with another legendary perk, and that is Exploding Palm. Now if you missed the video where I displayed the amount of damage that this perk does, I'll have it linked in the top right now. But basically, that perk deals 100 flat out explosive damage that is unchanged by any variables, at least from my testing that is, so this could lead to an interesting interaction between Hack and Slash and Exploding Palm. If you are using an unarmed weapon that is. Now theoretically, if you have both of these perks fully maxed out, which I do, then if you're attacking an enemy in VATS, you should have a 70% chance to cause an explosion of some description via one of these two perks, that being a 50% chance due to Hack and Slash and a 20% due to Exploding Palm. But that's not all. Since these are two different explosions doing different things, if we were to have both Exploding Palm and Hack and Slash activate on the same punch on the exact same target, then it seems that these two perks interact in a very harmonious way, from my testing at least. This means that not only does the damage your currently equipped melee weapon is doing gets redistributed across all nearby enemies due to Hack and Slash, but so does the Exploding Palm's perk's base explosive damage, which is 100. Basically meaning 100 explosive damage gets spread out twice over if both of these perks are to proc at the same time on the same punch. Like I said, this leads to a nice synergization and interaction from the two perks, making them both very powerful. I would also like to touch on the fact that this perk, when combined with Exploding Palm, is an absolute dream whilst you're in the daily ops missions. The ability to take multiple enemies out with a single punch has never been more useful than in that specific situation, as you no doubt expected and just saw. Now, we obviously know that this is amazing for your everyday run-of-the-mill mobs, all the way from a horde of ghouls to super mutants to a sheep squatch. But how does it fare against raid bosses like Earl Williams and the Scorchbeast Queen? Well, straight up it's useless against the Queen, considering the fact that you can't VATS her with melee. Her character model is just too big that 9 times out of 10 we are unable to actually get a successful VATS lock with melee. Try it for yourself if you don't believe me, but against Earl Williams it's amazing. Hack and Slash will allow you to take out droves of Wendigo spawn with a single punch and at the same time allow you to deal damage towards Earl Williams. It's definitely worth it in my opinion. Do not sleep on this perk for the boss fights. I'm sure I've displayed more than enough background footage of me taking out groups of enemies with a single punch, so I hope that and this video was more than enough to show you how great this perk card is. That's going to do it for me guys. A huge shout out to my Patreons and channel members. If you'd like to help support this channel grow in a much larger way, the links to do so will be in the description of this video. Apart from that, my Twitter, Discord and Facebook can be found down there below as well. I've been Tyr, and I'll catch us in the next one. Welcome to Valhalla.